At ease, brothers. I am soul. Man, the other day I was cleaning up and I was listening to some Neville Goddard on YouTube, like I always do, right? But something was different about this lecture I was listening to, right? I don't know exactly what was said, before or if he was asked a question, but for some reason Neville stated the date that he was actually giving that lecture, right? And as I was cleaning, I thought about that date. And I realized that it was very close to the date that he died, right? Like this lecture had to be just a few months before his passing. So it made me sit down and just really pay attention to what he was saying because, in my mind, I always think that, whether we know if we're about to go or not, I think that when our time is coming closer to crossing over, I think that we're just, I just think that our instincts, that our knowledge about this world is more advanced. I just believe that, right? So anyway, I'm sitting there listening to him and he's just going in, right? And he said, you know what? Like I hope that at some point man understands that God is within him. And he went through this whole spiel, similar to the spiel I went to the other day, right? About most men think that God is in some faraway place, think that, Christ is something other than what it truly represents, right? And Neville was saying, I just hope that at some point man understands this. And then he says, I hope that at some point man understands his creative power. Meaning things just don't happen by chance. Meaning that if a man believes a certain way, moves at a certain energy, then certain things will pan out. And we all talk about the creation process. I've made the recipe. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. I break the recipe, the creation process down. Neville says, I hope that at some point man understands this. And then he said this, and this is what stuck to me. He said, man denies his own harvest. In other words, he was saying that man wakes up every single day and sees the world that he's created. And a lot of men are upset about it, or are sad about it, or shocked at the fact that it's even taking place, right? He says, man denies his own harvest. But that hit me hard, man. Yesterday I went to Popeye's Chicken, right? By far, definitely in the top 10 of most unhealthiest places on the planet to eat, right? And your boy went in. I had me a whole, 4-piece chicken and biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Mac and cheese. Sweet tea. Your boy swung for the fence, right? Now, what would I look like coming home, opening up the box, seeing fried chicken and just acting shocked? Like, oh man, what's going on? Like, where's my salad? Where's my fruits and vegetables, man? That's how it is with us waking up every day acting as if, the world that we see isn't the world that we created. Neville says man denies his own harvest. It's like a lot of times we just completely forget that cause and effect is a real thing. We forget that the world that we speak, the energy that we move in is the world we're going to create, man. And it makes me think about just mankind, to be more specific. It makes me think about, like the manosphere and red pill community and just groups of men like that. The things we talk about, we have to understand that if we talk about low vibrational things and move in low vibrational energies, we have to understand that we'll never come out of that world. We'll never come out of that world. And even for me, at some point in time, I say, you know what? If I'm eating low vibrational foods on a regular basis, if I'm listening to low vibrational musics, if I'm going to low vibrational places, there's no way I can walk and expect a life of abundance. Man denies his own harvest. He denies his own harvest, man. And it just made me think about, because of the content that I see on YouTube sometimes, It's just, we have to understand. This is what I think about sometimes, brothers. And it's crazy. I say, what would life be like if our fathers had the technology and the platforms that we have, man? I think like what kind of information would they put out? And I think about the men that I grew up around. You know, some of my best friends' fathers. You know, I know one of my best friends, Lane Key. I talk about Lane all the time. And his father, that's the only man that I've ever known in my life that could go fishing 7 days a week. Can work a 12-hour shift and go fishing every single day. I picture brothers like him, man, making content about fishing. I think about brothers like my partner LC, his dad owned a detail shop. You know, he's showing brothers how to be entrepreneurs. I think about the men before us, because it seems like we're just an era of solutionless men now. You know, strictly based on the content that we put out as a whole. As a whole, not talking about any specific, you know, but as a whole, it's like we just become, an era of solutionless men. It's like we're just an era of men that are denying our own harvest, as if we just forgot that we are creating the world that we're experiencing, man. I'm telling you, brother, at some point in time, and I'm not even talking about on a collective level. At some point in time, individually, us as men have to wake up and look at the world that we created and accept it as our own. If you're waking up and you're looking at a spouse that you can't stand, if you're going to a job that you can't stand, if your circle of friends are low vibrational and wanting to entertain things that you aren't into anymore, you have to say, you know what? This world that I'm experiencing, I created it. Because to deny that is to truly say that I don't know who I am. You can't sit there and say that I am my God, I am moving in this and this, but look at your world and say, you know what? Like I don't understand why this is coming my way. You can't do both, brothers. You can't do both, man. So in a nutshell, man, we just have to understand that we are creating everything. We are creating everything. And it goes back to what Neville was saying, brothers, which was, only months before his passing, man. Again, he says, man, I hope that every man understands that God is within him. I hope that every man understands that he's creating this world that he's seeing, right? And ultimately, man, he said, I hope that man at some point stops denying his own harvest.